What's up, homies? SuperBaconGaming, and today is the first episode of my new series called Mundo Monday. Today I'm going to be talking about Dr. Mundo's lore and some fun facts about him. And I'm going to begin with his lore. So, not much is known about Dr. Mundo, or Mundo, before the age of 3. At the age of 3, he was found on the doorstep of the Zahn Asylum for the irreparably troubled. All the staff and member of the asylum tried to keep a distance from him, since they didn't know a lot about him. Why was he purple? Who could have survived giving birth to someone of this size? The doctors at the asylum soon began to realize how strong he was when he crushed someone's windpipe for not bringing him his favorite candy, which was toenails. As he grew older, he noticed that he couldn't feel pain, or that he enjoyed it. He was always sticking sharp objects into himself. The asylum staff decided to stop observing and start testing on Mundo. They tested his tolerance for pain. They'd stick needles into his fingernails, and he'd giggle. They'd put hot irons to his feet, and he'd fall asleep. Any damage they did to him was healed within hours. Throughout his teenage years, Mundo's life consisted of complete isolation and routine torture. And he'd never been happier. The more tests they did on him, the higher his pain tolerance got. He saw these doctors as aspirational figures, and decided he wanted to be one. Mundo tested on himself, but soon grew tired of it. Mundo was putting his research into action by testing on doctors. One night, Mundo snuck into the kitchen and found a giant meat cleaver. With his medical blade, Mundo went from room to room operating on patients by doing whatever amused him at the time. By daytime, everyone in the asylum was cured. He took a physician's coat from one of his patients and realized his dream. He was a doctor. Dr. Mundo walked into the streets of Zahn, a smile on his face, and a spring in his step. Now to the next part of this episode, some fun facts about Dr. Mundo. Dr. Mundo's old lore and model made him more of a self-created monster. I'm guessing that they created his old character model, but realized that his lore and textures were too much like Singed. They changed Dr. Mundo so that he was a massive and muscular purple man. At some point his lore was rewritten to the lore I just explained. Next up, Dr. Mundo's only friend is Dr. Mundo. Corporate Mundo's ABCs of success are: always be cleavin'.
Mundo's ABCs of success: always be cleavin'.
Dr. Mundo was among the original 40 champions in the league available at launch. So sorry that this episode was a bit shorter, it's just that his lore isn't as long as other people, and he just doesn't have that much information concerning him, special interactions, or anything because he was such an old character. But that's basically it for this episode. Next week's episode will be about Dr. Mundo builds and matchups, and I'm not only going to be talking about my builds and matchups, but what other people think and other people's builds, and especially higher ranked Mundo players. So, thank you guys for watching. This is SuperBaconGaming, and I'm out.